Are you ready to hear this? The Fantastic Four are officially heading to the MCU. And not only that, but Marvel's first family will be on the top of the list of Marvel Phase 6, the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Phase 5 kicks off next month, so this might still seem a way off, but trust me, it will come sooner than you think. Stay with me until the end, as I have some exciting news to share with you. Now, let's kick off with a short recap.
I know you. From school.
I'm just looking for a power converter. I'm building something.
During September's D23 Expo, Marvel revealed that WandaVision director Matt Shakman will take the helm. In fact, according to the first announcement, the movie was supposed to be directed by Jon Watts, but he departed the project in April. There are different stories on what might be the reason for that decision, but now that the release date is announced, it's not really that important. So far, there are 3 Fantastic Four movies on the track. The first one was made back in 1994, and it was an origin story for the characters, which involved B-movie legend Roger Corman. Unfortunately, this movie was never released. It took 11 years for somebody to decide to make this project again. The second movie was released in 2005, and it was directed by Tim Story, with the future Captain America Chris Evans as Johnny, Ian Grufford as Reed, and Jessica Alba as Sue. This movie seemed like a throwback to sillier superhero films. The last one, of course, is the 2015 movie. To be quite honest, even though I really wanted it to happen, I didn't really expect to see another one in the near future, especially if we take into mind the reviews after the last movie. After this one, we started thinking that Fantastic Four shouldn't be turned into a movie. Or maybe it's just a cursed property. The 2015 movie was an attempt to tell the story of Ben Grimm, aka The Thing and Dr. Doom, Sue and Johnny Storm, and Reed Richards, the core characters in one of Marvel Comics' most durable properties. And how did the critics see this? Well, they said it's good that the movie was short, but it felt longer than an afternoon spent at the DMV. I can't totally agree with that, but it seems like they all shared the same opinion. The movie kicks off with Reed Richards hitting that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. No, really. The movie starts with Red as an 11-year-old, sneaking out in Ben Grimm's family's junkyard, trying to take the transformer he needs to build a tiny teleportation device. A very intriguing note, you must admit. And as I mentioned, the movie flashes back and forth, so it takes us to the present day, with Ben, now played by Jamie Bell, and Reed, played by Miles Teller, wreaking havoc with their invention at a science fair. The next 60 minutes of the movie are another origin story, introducing us to the Doctor's 2 kids, the science-minded and super-intelligent Sue Storm and Johnny, her juvenile delinquent brother. Dr. Victor Von Doom, the comic's arch villain, is also part of the team. And if you know even a little bit about the comic, you'll just wait for the other Iron Boot to drop and transform him into an all-powerful megalomaniac. The 2015 movie will be studied in movie schools as an example of what not to do. The shortness wasn't the only issue, and nobody thinks that longer scenes would have improved this. I mean, even a cast this gifted couldn't make this better. We know for sure they're amazing actors since we've seen them in different movies. But if you encounter them for the first time in this movie, you'd ask yourself what anyone could see in these people. Anyway, enough about the previous movie, and let's focus on what's coming next. Let's talk about the release date. Now, prepare to make some changes to your movie calendar. Disney has decided to make a shuffle and several changes to the release schedule of the MCU, and unfortunately, one of these delays will be for Matt Shakman's Fantastic Four. Yes, that's right. The movie was scheduled for November 8, 2024, and it will now be released on February 14, 2025. In fact, the Fantastic Four is accompanied by several other MCU projects having their release dates changed, such as the Multiverse Saga Conclusion, Avengers Secret Wars, Deadpool 3, the Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman starring MCU debut, and Mahershala Ali's Blades. Anyway, the movie is set to launch Phase 6 now, along with Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The announcement was made by Matt Shakman during Marvel's huge D23 Expo presentation. His confirmation soon after was followed by the announcement that the movie could be written by Ian Springer and Jeff Kaplan. But as we wait for the movie to be released, let's talk about the potential cast members. No casting has been confirmed yet, but there are several rumors, and they're pretty loud. One of the founding members is Reed Richards, or Mr. Fantastic. With expertise in engineering, chemistry, alien biology, and physics, he's known as one of the smartest scientists around, and superhero power-wise. So who will play Marvel's smartest guy? You probably have one person on your mind if you've seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness already. That is John Krasinski. There is, however, one obstacle that stands in John's way to this role. He was brutally killed by Wanda Maximoff within minutes of his introduction, so it's still quite difficult to speculate. But in his latest interview, Multiverse of Madness director Sam Raimi gave us hope, saying that the casting was meant only as fan wish fulfillment. It's so funny that Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige cast John because the fans had a dream of who the perfect Reed Richards would be. Because this is an alternate universe, I think Kevin said, "Let's make that dream come true," said Raimi. Previously, Mr. Fantastic has been portrayed by two other actors, Miles Teller and Ian Grufford, which means that the door is half open for both of them as well. Another founding member of the Fantastic Four is Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and fans have been speculating that Emily Blunt is the right choice for this character. But where did this idea come from? Well, she is Krasinski's wife in real life. They have a pedigree of working together on screen. We only know that she smashed that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. No, really, in all seriousness now, we know that the actress would be happy to jump in. That is fan casting. No one has received a phone call. That's just people saying, "Wouldn't that be great?" said the actress on the Howard Stern show. As for Johnny Storm, I don't really expect to see the actors that had this role before, especially not Chris Evans, who went on to bag a huge MCU role as Captain America. So we'll probably see some new casting for that role. Now let's talk about the plot. The first question, is Marvel's Fantastic Four linked to the previous two movies? The answer is short and clear. No. These adaptations are not currently linked to each other, although there is a slight possibility that these older movies could retroactively be incorporated. One more thing, this movie won't be another origin story, that's for sure. A lot of people know this origin story. A lot of people know the basics. How do we take that and bring something that they've never seen before? We've set a very high bar for ourselves by bringing that to the screen, said Kevin Feige on Comic-Con last year, and it totally makes sense that Marvel would use a different approach since the origin story has formed the premise of the previous adaptations. All we know is that the studio in their MCU movies tends to shy away from traditional storylines. No worries at all. After all, the Fantastic Four first debuted in 1961, so there are millions of other directions they could head in. Let's just hope they'll make the right choices for the cast list. And what about you? What do you think will be the main focus of the story? Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.